Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Annie. This is flosstube number 88, and you might have seen it in the title. I think I want to do something where you might see it. Yeah, I did not do a whole lot of stitching this week once again. The weather it was really hot. We had over 30 degrees basically, I think starting Wednesday and going through to Saturday, and the way my apartment is built, I basically had over 30 degrees in my apartment as well. And that's just way too hot to do anything. So yeah, no stitching. I normally had about an hour or two in the morning where I could do some stitching. So basically I did my daily piece. And otherwise there was just not a whole lot happening. A little bit on Monday and Tuesday. Yesterday, the weather got better in the evening, but yeah, I just did not feel it anyways. But I got some good travel stitching progress in because at work, which my travel stitching mostly consists out of stitching at work, and there we have an AC, so it was really cool and I actually could stitch. So that was pretty nice. I made good progress there, especially because I had a night shift. That always means good stitching progress. So yeah. I'm going to show you all my projects in a second. I'm already going to tell you my plans for next week will basically be the projects or the same projects I stitched on this week, because 4 projects I did not even get to. So yeah, I'm not going to continue my rotation with not having stitched on most of the projects. So yeah, we will see about that. I'm sorry if you hear some noises in the background. My dishwasher is actually running at the moment behind the camera. And yeah, I'm sorry if you can hear that. I hope not. Yeah, I think I said everything. So this time we actually mix plans with web updates, as I normally don't do it. But yeah, just because the way it turned out to be, I thought it would be fine to do it like this week. So, okay, let's get started with web update, the few I have. First of all, my travel stitching. What did I stitch for travel stitching? It was the Hello Sunshine Cell by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. So this is where I'm at right now, and that means part 1 is done. So since last time I finished off the green, I finished off the flowers and the blue grass over here, and basically stitched the whole flamingo over there. So yeah, really good progress. A lot of that happened at work, and especially during the night shift. So yeah, that's that. It's stitched on the 28 count 1/1 full cross. The needle minder up here is from Denka Designs. And yeah, this is where I'm at. Here we go. I got a question under my last video where I put my needle minder when I stitch in hand. With most projects, I just leave it in the top left corner. That's fine. It's not disturbing me. On some fabrics, when the fabric is way too sloppy, and I'm stitching close to the needle minder and it hangs below my hand, I just pull it off and lie it next to me, or put it next to me, put my needle next to me every time I have to put it away, and not have it on my fabric anymore, because it can get complicated to have the needle minder on the fabric when it's super heavy and you're stitching in hand. But choosing needle minders, I always go for quite small ones. Wood ones are really good because they're not so heavy and therefore don't drag the fabric as much. Okay, back to my Hello Sunshine. As I said, part 1 is now finished. Part 2 will be released next Monday. So in my next video, I will not have any progress, but I hopefully can show you what part 2 is going to look like when it's done. So yeah, here we go. This is my Hello Sunshine. That's been that. And after I finished this one, I actually had a little bit of travel stitching left. And I went back to the project I took for travel stitching basically the first 4 months of the year. So I went back to the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needleworks. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm presently stitching band number 9, which is a cross stitch band, and which is this one in here. So I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I'm really happy with what I did, because basically I finished the first half of band number 9, which is the first color. So next time I come back to this one, I will start up in here with the next color in band number 9 to finish off that cross stitch band. The next color will be a green, so I'm really excited about that. So yeah, here we go. This one is stitched on a 32 count white opalescent linen. I'm stitching 1/2 with the cross stitches and the specialty stitches as well as with 1 thread, but yeah, sometimes they go over 7 threads or something like that. So, but I stitch them with 1 thread as well. The needleminder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So basically, I think I started up in here or something like that, and then just moved the band fully down. So yeah. Can't wait to get back to this one, and I actually will, because this week I still need travel stitching progress. No, I still need a travel stitching project, as the next part of Hello Sunshine will not be released until next week. So I'm going to take this one with me, and it would be really cool to finish band number 9, but it's a long band, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it would be pretty cool. We'll see about that. And I'm really looking forward to getting some of the greens in here. It's going to look amazing, I'm sure of that. Okay, now to my... I'm thinking about which project to talk about next. And I decided to switch up the thing. I always put my projects next to me in order. I want to talk about them. So before I start a video, I sit down and think about everything I want to tell you, watch my last week's video, and then I put the projects in order, I put the cover pictures in order, so I then can show you, well, kind of organized and not searching through a pile of stuff. So I just realized that I have 2 projects. The next 2 projects I had the cover pictures in one order and the projects in the other order. The other way around. So now I was sitting here, okay, what do you talk about first? So I decided to first talk about Cinderella Rags to Riches by John Elliott, which is my birthday project. I started this one last year on my birthday, and therefore I wanted to stitch on this one this year on my birthday once again, because it turned 1 year old. And I turned 1 year older. So yeah, I wanted to stitch on this one. On my birthday, it was super hot. I first had to work. It was a super early shift, so I went to sleep. Then I had to, I was on a phone call with my grandparents, with my parents. In the afternoon, I went for a barbecue. So yeah, basically no stitching. The day after, I met with friends at a restaurant. It has been over a year since I've last been at a restaurant, so it was really nice to actually go somewhere, sit somewhere, and actually eat and get your food at your table, and it was amazing. So yeah, really enjoyed that. The food was fabulous. I just love that restaurant. We always go there basically when my parents are here. It was when I moved here. About 5.5 years ago. Basically, that was the first restaurant I went with my parents, because it was right around the corner, and it's so amazing. So every time my parents visit me, we always go there because we all love it. And it's Greek food, so it's really good. Yeah, so basically that day also no stitching, and it was super hot, and I think I did stitch on the Cinderella Rags to Riches on Friday or Saturday, I'm not even sure anymore. Way too late, and not on my birthday, but that was fine. I had an amazing time on my birthday, the days after and before. I brought some cupcakes with me to work, so we had some great times there as well. And it wasn't as bad as normally going to an early shift is. So yeah, I really had an amazing time. Thank you for everyone who commented or congratulated me in the comments. On anyone else who thought about me as well, of course. And yeah, just really, really thank you a lot. I received some really wonderful comments. That was not my intention with sharing my birthday here in the video. But yeah, I just yeah. Thank you. I actually got one Stitchy gift. Throwing that in here as well. Basically, a friend of mine gave me a voucher for any type of chart I want to have. If it's a Heaven and Earth Designs, a Mirabilia, whatever I want, basically. And last year, she gifted me a fabric from Color & Cotton that I really love. I think it's called Ballerina. And when she gave it to me last year, I immediately had a project in mind I wanted to stitch. It's Princess Eliana by Mirabilia. So last year, I think during August or something like that, I placed an order to get that chart and maybe started. Yeah, that order got completely cancelled because there were few things in there that I would have needed to get out of the US, and that was not possible at that time. So basically it took, I think it was about 7 months until they said, okay, the order is completely cancelled, here's your money back, and otherwise nothing had happened. So basically I did not get the chart I wanted to get for that fabric. So this year she gifted me a chart, whichever chart I want. So I think it would be really amazing to let her gift me Princess Eliana to stitch it on the fabric she gifted me a year before. Now, I think that's pretty amazing, and I would love that. But that's something we will do whenever we order something. She's not going to order just for one chart. She doesn't have a whole lot of things she wants at the moment. I don't. So we'll wait for that, and sometime I will get my chart and hopefully stitching it on the fabric she gave me as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. That's a lot of talk. I actually wanted to do that at the end of the video, but well, with this chart we came up, the theme came up, so yeah, that's it. Okay, Cinderella Rex switches. As I said, I stitched on it wanted to stitch on it for my birthday, stitched on it a few days later, and I only wanted to do like half an hour just to give it some attention for its birthday. So that's basically what I did. I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So what did I do? Basically, I went for the next color from the top that was missing, and it was one of her skin colors. And it was actually the one skin color that was still missing in that arm over here. So first I stitched everything in this arm over here, which was not where it was supposed to start according to my own rules, but they are my own rules. So I bended them a little and finished stitching this arm. And then I moved over here and yeah, started from where it was supposed to start and just did the rest of the thread in this arm over here. And I got close to her hand. Her hand will come around over here to hold the fabric. But yeah, I did not get there because my thread went out. But after I had stitched that thread, I then could come back and backstitch this arm, her hand, and the rest of her sleeve up here. So I did that, really happy. Looks amazing. And yeah, basically it took around 30 up to 45 minutes, so perfect timing, and I actually managed to do something really, really amazing and something I was really looking forward to, so that's nice. Next time I'm actually going to start in the bottom part of the dress. Over here with some, I think, lilac colors. So that's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to that because it will be the next color. And yeah, here we go. She is beautiful. I really love her. And it's amazing to see her arm come around. So yeah, that's that. As I said, only about 30 minutes up to 45, but that's been enough time to stitch that arm, so I'm really happy. Okay, then let's move to my rotation, which normally are 5 projects. This week I stitched on 2, so yeah, not a whole lot, but as I said, my rotation always starts with a project. I stitch on every day for a little bit. For every project, it is a little bit different. This week it was Sleepy Hollow by Glen & Place, so I wanted to do a little bit in the moon, a little bit somewhere else on the piece, and a little bit of backstitching. As this was the first piece I stitched on every day, I actually stitched on it every day, reached my goal on it every day. Sometimes it really was like, okay, I'm stitching 10 stitches now, I think I need a break. I'm coming back to it in a few hours when it's not so warm anymore and it was still as hot in the apartment in a few hours later, so I stitched a few more stitches and put it away again. But as I started quite early every day, I managed to actually get my goal done every day. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I'm really happy with where I got to. But what exactly did I do? Well, first of all, I finished, the tree was already cross-stitched on the first row of pages completely. Now it's completely back-stitched as well. I brought the moon a lot further down. I actually finished everything that is left of the horse in the moon now. And I did a little bit more of the moon over here. I finished all the flames except for backstitching. And I got started on the pumpkin head. There's one orange and of course the black missing in here. And whenever I had some threads left over on my needle from stitching the pumpkin head, I went into the border and stitched it in here. So yeah, really happy with what I managed to do. It helps stitching on a piece every day a little bit. Helps a lot of getting it done. So yeah, I love this piece. It's stitched on a called for 28 count casual linen 2/2 full crosses with anchor colors or with anchor threads because it's called for an anchor and anchor is easier to get here in Germany than DMC. So yeah, it was clear that I would go for the anchor colors instead of DMC and convert it and then have more problems getting the colors than with just anchor. So yeah, except for the moon, which is Karen Water Lilies in the color Lemon and Lime, I think. It's a beautiful color. But yeah, that's that one. Did I mention the fabric? It's by Picture This Plus in the colorway Haunted. Needleminder is from Denka Designs. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to this one. But as I said, I'm going to continue with my rotation the same it was last week. Well, this project is the exception because I did get my goal done. I did stitch on it every day. I don't want to go for it for another week. It does not make my rotation any more complicated because I chose those projects randomly anyways. So I just decided to spin my wheel for another time and get myself another daily project for this week, which I did. I will show you in a second which project that is. But yeah, of course I wanted to continue stitching on this one because it's absolutely gorgeous and I love this piece. But I stitched it quite a bit over the last 3 weeks, so I'm fine with putting it away for a while and stitch on some other pieces I have not stitched as much during the last time. But coming back to this one, next time I would love to finish that border over here and actually complete the pumpkin and backstitch the pumpkin head before I move into the head and of course continue with the moon. So yeah, quite a bit left to do. I want to finish the first row of pages this year, which means I'm cutting in through here. So yeah, quite a bit left to do on the side of the piece, but I'm getting closer. Okay, This is Sleepy Hollow, as I said, not being under rotation this week anymore because I already did quite a bit last week. Okay, as I said, Monday and Tuesday the weather wasn't as bad. It was still kind of hot. It was, yeah, especially because here in the north of Germany we don't get a dry heat. It's kind of humid and moist, and I hate that. Where I grew up, near Munich, so in the south of Germany, it always was kind of a dry heat, except for some exceptions shortly before a thunderstorm or something. But it basically was a dry heat, so I really enjoyed that, and I really like the hot weather down there. Up here, I don't so much. But yeah, it's the way it is. It's just, the problem is that my apartment gets super hot. And I can't keep the heat outside my apartment. So that's basically the main problem. If I would sit inside and it's kind of cool, I would enjoy going out in the heat much more, because knowing that I go out in the heat now for 1 or 2 hours until I'm done with it, I can go back inside and it's cool. Yeah, well, that would be pretty great. That's not the case in this apartment. So yeah, that's kind of the problem. But we only get around 1 or 2 really hot weeks, so in a year, so I can handle that. Just not as much stitching during those times. Okay, as I said, Monday and Tuesday it wasn't as hot, so I actually managed to do some stitching, and I started with Supersize Max Color Cliffhanger. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. It's charted by Haven't Enough Designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. Woo, page finish. So I finished page number 3 up here, which was my 6th page finish actually. There was only black missing, I think close to 750 stitches missing. So I finished all of that, which is super fast because it was only one color, and I cut my threads really long. So basically it was one length of thread, or maybe 2. I think the one that was still parked and one more, something like that. So yeah, super fast. And then I let my random wheel decide which page would be next. All pages that are directly or diagonally available are in this wheel, and the page that got chosen was this one down here, and I totally forgot which page number that is. 25. So page 25 got chosen, and that's that one over here. So normally I start directly in the corner and stitch wherever I can get, but I decided to go with a color that is close to the corner, but also is all over the page, and that's basically what I did. I think it's about 300 stitches in with that color, something like that. And yeah, I stitched over the whole page, so now I can just go from left to right or right to left, whatever I want to do, pick colors and finish them over the whole page before I move on to the next color. So basically I think I'm going to the left and then to the right and then just moving down, something like that. But yeah, that's that. This one is stitched on a 40 count Newcastle linen 1/110 stitch. So those are tiny stitches. As you can see, holding my finger next to it, or maybe my thumb, those are pages. Those are Haven't Enough Design pages. I mean, it's the large print, but nevertheless, those pages are tiny. But yeah, already on my 7th page, and it's super cool. But this project has 156 pages, so still quite something to do. But yeah, here we go, and I'm so happy with this one. I would have loved for another page, honestly. This was not one of those I really wanted to have, but it's still pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to that still. I only have about 450 stitches missing for my year goal. That's nice. This is actually one of those projects where I actually reached my goal for the week, and normally I would not continue with it. But all my other projects I didn't, and I don't want to just exchange one project basically in my normal rotation. With my daily rotation I don't care, but with the normal rotation it gets complicated, because then next week I would stitch on the same project for 2 different prompts, and so I decided to just go with it for another week, maybe even finish my year-end goal, and then I will be fine with that as well. So yeah, here we go, hoping for another 455 stitches, 450 stitches, something around that, in this page down here, to finish my year-end goal. Yay! Okay, and that's everything I stitched on. As I said, not a whole lot, just because of the weather. So let's move into my plans, or what else I'm going to stitch on next week. First of all, let's start with my daily project, which this week then will be Mini Magic Mirror by Haven't Enough Designs, artwork is by Anne Stokes. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. With this one, I'm going to do the same I did with Colorado Mountains a few weeks back for my daily project. Sorry. So this is where this one's at. I'm going to continue in the columns, taking the color highest up that is not yet stitched, except for black, because I want to fill in all the black when everything else on the page is done, and do 1 length of thread. Normally, 1 length of thread gets me above 50 stitches. So I do 1 length of thread every day, except if I do not get above 50 stitches, then I take the next color, and that should get me over 50 then. So yeah, probably only around 1 color a day, maybe 2, but something according to those lines. This one is stitched on 28 count Lugana 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Just to Heavenly, and yeah, can't wait to continue on this page over here, and fill in a little bit more. So yeah, I think over here there's a lot of black missing, so yeah, but we're getting there. The page is quite big still, and I only have about 2,000 stitches missing for my year-end goal, so I'm not sure if I will get the page done with my year-end goal, but this week I won't get my year-end goal done, so yeah, no use in thinking about that already. Okay, that's that one. And actually I can roll those up completely because I do not have to take a picture. Because the project I stitched on, I always take a picture after doing my video. So I have what it looked like last time. Next time when I show you this project. Okay, then cliffhanger, as I said, will be my full coverage piece for the week. My full coverage fancy lady I show you in a bit. My non-full coverage piece for the week, once again, will be Tiger Chilling Out by Dimensions. I have not yet stitched on, or I have not stitched on this one last week, so I hope to get to it this week. This is where I'm at with this one right now. It's stitched in 18 count Black Ada, Tiger stitch 2/1 full cross. Sorry, it's a dishwasher. Okay, where was I? I think I just told you that it's 18 count Black Ada, the Tiger stitch 2/1 full cross. The water and the reflections of the tiger in the water are stitched 1, 2, or 3 strands, 10 stitch. Needleminder is from Dankai Designs. And yeah, this is where I'm at, hopefully getting closer to his face. Sorry. It's always complicated to hold something behind while showing you, so I do not like that. But otherwise, it's just completely see-through. So that does not work either. Okay. Then, my non-full coverage fancy lady this week is Royal Games number 2 by Mirabilia. Once again, that's what it's going to look like when it's done. I show you where I'm at. This is basically a repeat of last week's video, but yeah, okay. So this is where she's at. She stitched on 32 count white opalescent linen 2/2 full cross needleminder from Dankai Designs. I'm hoping to do the back stitching in here, maybe a bit more of the cross stitches and some of the beads. So we'll see how much I can do. I really would like to do some beads in her. I think that would be necessary to actually let her come together and yeah, ear picture, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's that one. And my last one is my full coverage fancy lady, which is Mini Cinderella. Artwork is by Alexandra Daw, charted by Haven and Infant Designs. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. With her, I show you where I'm at. Of course, it would be nice to do about 400 up to 500 stitches with my normal rotation. Okay, I missed my needleminder once again. Great. With my normal rotation, 400 stitches maybe. I'm presently stitching over here in the cranach to hopefully finish the cranach on this side over here. And then there's a challenge in the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group starting on Saturday. So let's talk about that. And I'm going to use this one for that. The challenge is called the Tour de France Challenge. They did that, I think, first time in 2019. I participated back then. And last year they did it as well, but super spontaneous because it wasn't sure if the Tour de France would actually be happening or not. And in the end it happened. But yeah, it just got super spontaneous and therefore I did not participate. This year I plan to participate once again. Basically, you stitch every day. You stitch as many stitches as the bikers ride kilometers. So there are 3 different challenges you can do. Or basically you can stitch all the kilometers for the yellow jersey. You can stitch all the sprint stages for the green jersey and all the climbing stages for the polka dot jersey. I decided to go with the yellow jersey, so stitching everything, which means the challenge starts on the 26th of June, ends on the 18th of July, basically 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, I will stitch 3,418 stitches. So this is basically, okay, that worked well. This is basically the challenge sheet. So you can see every day you have how many stitches you're supposed to do. If you're stitching the yellow jersey, you stitch everything, of course. The green jersey, only the green days. The climbing jersey, only the red days. So it works great, just great. As I said, I'm going to stitch everything except for those 2 rest days. You can use those to make up for what you missed, or you just take a rest day. I hope to actually finish everything the day it's called for, and I can use those rest days as rest days. But yeah, we will see about that. You can stitch ahead, you can catch up. You just have the starting day and the finish day, and during those 3 weeks, between those 2 dates, you have to finish the stitches you want to finish. So I'm going to stitch, or I hope to stitch on Mini Cinderella before Saturday and maybe finish 400 stitches before Saturday. Until on Saturday the challenge starts, and I'm going to do the exact amount of stitches every day it's called for. So on Saturday I'm going to start with 198 stitches. As soon as I have reached my 198 stitches, I will park my thread, put the project away, and come back on it the next challenge today. Of course, taking a picture and posting it, but otherwise just putting it away. And that means, hopefully, till the end of the challenge, I did more than 3,418 stitches, because I'm hoping to do a bit more beginning of the week already. But that would be pretty nice, because that would mean I would be below 1,000 stitches of cranach left. That would be pretty nice. So I really like the idea of using the challenge to actually tackle all this cranach in this piece, and just have a few stitches every day. That sounds pretty cool, actually. So we'll see how that is going to work out. This one is actually stitched on a 28 count light blue even weave 1/1 full cross. I did not tell you that. The cranach that is called for is the number 4 braid, number 032. I decided to go with the blending filament 032 and blend it with 1 strand of B5200. It gets a little bit bulky, but I really like the effect. It's not so sparkly like the Krennic is, but it has a little bit of sparkle that you probably can see in the video, but I can in real life. So yeah, I really like that. And I'm looking forward to actually having all the Krennic done. That would be pretty nice. So we'll see about that. But this is where I'm at. With the light, you can actually see what is stitched and what isn't. It's not as easy if I hold it like that. But yeah, this is Mini Cinderella, as I said, stitching a little bit beginning of the week, and then hopefully starting the challenge on Saturday and completing the challenge. But you will see this project a few times over the next few weeks just because the challenge takes some time. Okay, now I'm done, I think. I think so. That means I can now start stitching with my new daily piece and keep all those other projects with me. Today it's actually pretty cool outside. It's rainy, which I really like. So yeah, I should be able to do a little bit of stitching. The week is supposed to stay kind of cool and kind of rainy, so yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, thank you everyone who thought about me on my birthday, who wrote a comment. Yeah, I'm just really grateful and thankful for that. So yeah, thank you very much. And I will see you next week. Stay safe.